Was Campbell County, Tennessee a dumping ground for a serial killer, or was there something else going on? In the early 90s, when I obtained dial-up internet in my home, I discovered the story of the tent girl, which led me down a path finding all of these unidentified Jane Does. And I started doing research because I wanted to find out what the identity of these women were. So I started making files and staying up late at night so that I didn't type the phone line, researching missing persons and trying to figure out the identity of these women.
You've got mail.
And I'm going to start talking about the Campbell County Jane Does. The first one was Tina Farmer. Her remains were found in Campbell County, Tennessee in the year 1985, and she would remain Jane Doe for 33 years. Tracy Sue Walker. Her partial remains were found in Campbell County, Tennessee in 1985. She would be referred to as Jane Doe for the following 37 years. Ada Elaine Torres Smith. Her remains were found in Campbell County, Tennessee in 1997. And it would be another 10 years before she would have her identity back. Lori Alexander. The body of Lori Alexander was found in Campbell County, Tennessee in the year 1998. And it would be another 23 years before Lori was identified. None of these women were from Tennessee. Most of the cases appear to be unrelated. All of them now have back their identity, and none of them will be referred to as unknown or Jane Doe anymore. But why were they brought here to Campbell County? And two of these women are theorized to be part of a large string of murders by a possible serial killer. The Redhead Murders, also known as the Bible Belt Strangler. With the help of DNA, Tina Farmer's killer was identified. Unfortunately, by the time he was identified, he had already passed away, so he was never formally charged with Tina's murder. But just as many suspected, her killer was a truck driver, a red-headed man by the name of Jerry Leon Johns, who died in 2015. He was convicted in 1987 for kidnapping and attempted murder of a red-headed lady from Knoxville. He choked her unconscious and threw her down an embankment. But she survived, and he was convicted in 1987. His DNA was found on a blanket Tina Farmer's body was wrapped in. But could he possibly have been the Bible Belt Strangler? And also responsible for Tracy Walker's death? So let's take a closer look at the Redhead Murders, or the Bible Belt Strangler. If you look in Wikipedia, it states that the Redhead Murders occurred between the years 1978 and 1992. It lists 6 possible victims of the Redhead Murders, with around 9 or 10 more suspected victims of the Redheaded Murder, or the Bible Belt Strangler. But if you remember, Jerry Leon Johns was convicted in 1987 for the kidnapping of the survivor in Knox County, Tennessee. So if he was imprisoned in 1987 and the murders continued until 1992, could Johns possibly be connected to these? And where do these dates come from? Because if you look at all the possible victims listed, bodies were found between 1975 and 1990. So I'm not sure where these dates actually come from listed on Wikipedia, or all these various other YouTube documentaries or Other places that talk about the redhead murders are the Bible Belt Strangler. Locations of these victims' bodies were found in Arkansas. There was the two in Campbell County, Tennessee. There was a Jane Doe in Cheatham County, Tennessee. Epsy Pilgrim, who was found in Knox County, Kentucky. And then the suspected victims who were connected, one was found in North Carolina, one in Missouri, one in West Virginia, one was found in Mississippi, one was found in Greene County, Tennessee, one Pulaski County, Arkansas, one was found in Roane County, Tennessee, one was in Georgia, and one was in Benton County, Arkansas. So let's go back just a minute to the survivor in Knox County, Tennessee, which led to Jerry Johns' conviction in 1987. Jerry Johns found the survivor in a club called the Catch in Knoxville. Now, I'm not going to put her name out there. Her name is out there already, but I'm not going to put it out there any more than it needs to be. Her job during this time in 1985, she worked at a strip club called the Catch, and Jerry Leon Johns had a membership card to the Catch, and she was somewhat familiar with Johns. But what a lot of these documentaries and other things that talk about the redhead murders fail to mention is that Jerry Johns wasn't at the Catch alone that night. His brother also had a membership card to the Catch and was also there with him. And the survivor of Jerry's attack, she had brought someone else along with her for Jerry Leon's brother. And they got motel rooms adjoining one another. After this point, nothing else is mentioned about Jerry's brother or the other female that was with Jerry's brother. It only talks about the attack on the victim and how Johns left her for dead on the side of the road. Now, we know for a fact that Jerry Johns attacked the survivor in Knox County, Tennessee. And we now know for a fact that Jerry Johns was responsible for the death of Tina Farmer, who was found in Campbell County, because his DNA was found on her. But why do we assume that Tracy Walker, who was found in Campbell County, was also connected to Johns? The earlier reports of Tracy, when she was still considered a Jane Doe, stated that she was found near Jellicoe, Tennessee. And that's kind of the case, but she was actually found in a very rural part of Elk Valley, the Elk Valley community, which was actually near the Scott County, Tennessee line. And she was nowhere near a major highway. In fact, it was thought that whoever was responsible for dumping her body there was very familiar with this area in order to have dumped her there. It's very out of the way. Unlike Tina, who was found right alongside I-75. Also, Tracy Walker was only 15 years old, while the other victims were around 20 or older. And a lot of these victims who still have not been tied to this potential serial killer, they were, older, and they were all found along the side of major highways as well. Unlike Tracy, who was not on a major highway. Now, Tina Farmer and Tracy Walker were both from Indiana, so that may be a possible connection. I'm not sure. And there's not a lot of information out there about Tracy Walker, the 15-year-old that was found. I actually, like I said, I spent years searching through missing persons cases and things like that. And I don't think she was ever listed on NamUs or on any of the missing persons websites, the Doe Network or any of those. So the way she was finally identified was through DNA and finding a relative that matched her DNA. Also, one of the things that tie most of the redhead murder victims together is their occupation or, being classified as prostitutes or exotic dancers. And that was not the case with Tracy Walker, who was just 15 years of age. So Jerry Johns was actually from Bradley County, Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee, and owned a trucking company called Rebel Trucking. And this would fit all the assumptions of what the redheaded murder, the Bible Belt Strangler was a long-haul truck driver, which would explain why all these bodies were found alongside of major highways where truckers would be going through. But again, that does not explain Tracy Walker and the rural area that she was found in. And it also doesn't explain the bodies that continue to be found after Johns was convicted. But it also makes me wonder about his brother, who was with him on the night that the Knox County survivor attack happened. His brother was with him and had a different lady with him, but he was with him on the night of these events, wherein Jerry Johns attacked, strangled, and left for dead the victim of Knox County. I wonder how much his brother knew, or even if his brother may have been involved with it in some way. See, all these little details, they're not made public because I'm pretty sure this is still an ongoing investigation. Obviously it is. So what do you guys think? Was there actually a serial killer that was responsible for the deaths of all these redheaded women? Was it a coincidence that all these women were brought to various places beside the highway and just coincidentally they all had red hair? Was there more than one Bible Belt Strangler or redheaded murder? What do you guys think? I'm just going to continue closely following any news releases on these stories, and maybe someday it'll be solved. Hopefully I'm still around to see when that happens. So that's the story that I have for you guys today, and I wanted to number one, follow up on my video I did a little over a year ago on the Campbell County Jane Does, because I'm very happy to say that every one of these females have actually gotten their identities back. So I'm happy about that. So anyway, that's the story that I have for you guys today. And if you like the content of my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you hit the little bell button, you'll be notified anytime I upload any new videos. And remember, a person is never forgotten until the last time their name is spoken. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.